All right, good morning. Hopefully, you're looking at this right after our morning meeting on Monday. We are doing Unit 8, Lesson 9. 8, 9, and it is cubic units and volume. This is a very simple lesson. It is not difficult at all. Just remember to follow the samples in your book, read everything, and work hard, and you'll understand this. So this lesson is pretty straightforward. It's just to give you the idea of what volume is and how to find volume. And it just gives you visual references. So just remember the key word on this lesson is a cubic unit. So right here, cubic unit, it's already up here. Now this is just a generic cube that can be replaced with cubic inches, cubic centimeters, cubic meters, cubic feet, cubic miles, doesn't matter. It's just there as a representation so that you understand, it's a model to help you understand what cubic volume is. Because when we talk about volume, we talk about it as how many cubes of something would make it up. So let's say we're talking about the volume of water in a swimming pool. We'd probably use cubic feet or cubic yards to describe how much water would be in a swimming pool. And we could figure that out. If you were filling up a hot air balloon, you might, or a helium balloon. Let's say we're filling up a helium balloon and we want to know how many square centimeters would be in there. So we use cubes to generally talk about the volume. They don't have to be even, but you know, we use that as a representation. So this unit or this lesson is about using models to just give us a mental idea of what that looks like. So what they'll do is they will make models, and I'll make one real quick. So let's say we wanted to play a prank or a joke on a friend, and we were going to fill their hot tub with green Jello. So we needed to figure out how much green Jello to buy to fill their hot tub. Well, first we would figure out how many square feet the Jello or the hot tub is, and then we'd figure out how much Jello we would need. So let's say we figure out, we're not going to do circles because that we're not there yet. Probably around 8th grade, you're going to figure out volume of things that are circular. But right now, we're just going to keep it cubic. Okay, so I'm going to make a cubic drawing. And these will be done in the book. I don't think you have to do any yourself. So it's just you make a rectangle, and just I think we've done some drawing exercises like this. But, you know, the key to drawing these is just make sure that these side lines stay at the same angle and that you keep them angled the same. But we did some just art lessons where we did stuff like this. Okay, so here I have a cube. Okay, it's not quite perfect. I think this angle's a little bit off. There, that's a little better. Okay, so we have a cube, and we want to find out how many cubic units take this up. So I'm going to break it up. So I'm going to say I have 3 in my height here. So 3 cubic units. So units cubed. So I'm going to do 3, and I don't know if they just do unit. So I'll just do a U. You can't see it, it's on that line, but U cubed. And if you wonder why we cube it, what does cube mean? Well, when we have the 2 up there, you know, think about it. If we have 2 to the 2, that equals 2 times 2, right? Or 3 squared equals 3 times 3. Well, it's the same thing. The cube, the unit is unit times unit. Oh, and it's actually cubed. Sorry, not squared. Cubed. My bad. Unit times unit, right? So 1, 2, 3, that's going to be U cubed. All right, and I'll go back. That's not it wasn't 2 times 2, it's 2 times 2 times 2, which is, 2 to the third. Or 3 times 3 times 3 is 3 to the third. My bad. I was doing square, not cubed. And we get that because what's the formula for volume? Length, width, height. Length times width times height equals volume. And, well, these have to have some sort of measurement to them. You can't just say height is 3 what, right? Or the width is 4 what? You can't do that. You have to give it a unit. And we talk about, when we do this, we're talking in length, okay? We're talking in length. So metric systems, you have a base of a meter. So you have a kilometer, a decameter, a centimeter, a hecameter. Those are all parts of, a 10 multiple of a meter. So if this is in meters, we're going to do, so I'm just going to say, let's say every side's 1. I have 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter. Well, that's 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. But meter times meter times meter is meter cubed. And this is an important concept, to pay attention to these units. Because when you get into chemistry and physics and more advanced science, you actually use those to figure out problems, and it tells you what your answer is in. So a perfect example would be, let's say you're trying to figure out how fast something went, and you're using gravity, and if I shoot this marker in the air, I shoot it through the air, and I want to figure out, let's say, okay, I want to calculate how far it's going to go. Well, you're going to have all these units. You're going to have gravity, you're going to have acceleration, you're going to have distance, you're going to have time. And when you do a problem, you can get rid of some of those. They cancel each other out. Because if I have a meter divided by a meter, that's 1. You can get rid of those meters. You don't need to know that now. But there is an importance of keeping track of your units, because when you advance and you get into science and physics, you use those and you use them to calculate what your answer is in, because your answer will be different things. If we have miles per hour, right? So miles per hour, right? Well, if I multiply that by how many hours, so this is just an example, you don't need to know this, but I want you to understand the importance of keeping track of units. If I multiply that by hours, I get how many miles I've traveled. I got rid of hours, because divide by an hour times an hour, it's hour over hour. That's times hour over hour is equal to 1. That's just miles. So that's just one way that keeping track of units is very important, what you're talking about. So just get in the habit now of making sure you're adding whatever units they're asking you to your answer, not just giving a number, because you will need that. And it does, in every science that you get into, it's very important to keep track of that, because you do these long math problems where you keep track of units and you get rid of them. All right, now back to today's lesson. Today's lesson is really simple. We're just counting the cubes. So I'm going to do, as a unit 3, that's just height. It's not cubed yet. So 3 units up. So I'm going to do okay. Okay, so I'm kind of erasing as I go here. I got to be careful. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3. 3 layers. That's my height, right? Okay, now I'm going to do this distance, and I'm going to do, let's do 5. 5, I'm going to cut it this way. Okay, so let's do 1. Okay, and then I got to cut it. It goes all the way through. Okay, so, and this is a unit. So I have 3 units this way, 1, 2, 3. 5 units this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well now I got this distance, and I'm gonna do, let's see, I think I can fit 4 in, 4 units. So I'm gonna cut it this way, as if, you know, if it's a box, I'd be cutting from the top, right? If you think about this as a shoe box, I cut it 5 ways this way, 3 ways this way, and now I'm gonna cut it 4 ways this way. Whoops. Oh, shoot. I think I went a little bit too far for that. Let's go down here to do 4. It's going to be a little tight. Okay, these aren't exact perfect cubes, but I'm kind of freehanding it. Okay, so it's a little messy, but I think you guys get it. Okay, so now I have 4 cuts going that way, 5 cuts going this way, and 3 cuts going this way. Now I can count the cubes. So my face, this is the face, I can count. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 is 3 times 5, right? 3 times 5, that's this cut times this cut. That's 15. So I have 15 on the first layer, but then it goes back how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 15 times 4. So 15 times 4 is 60. But let's just look at the math now. If I have 5 units, 4 units, and 3 units, that's 5 times 4 times 3. And that's 5 times 4 is 20. Times 3 is 60, and it's units cubed. Okay, so this is pretty simple. You multiply its volume, the formula for volume, length times width times height equals volume. But here they really just want you to just count the cubes, and they have pictures. So it's a pretty straightforward unit. Good luck with it, and hope everything's going well at home. I will do a couple more of these videos today, so if I'm still wearing the red shirt, don't think I don't change. I just don't do one every day. I do a couple in a row. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.